At the end of the previous Hermitcraft episode, I noticed that my structural chickens had died. Now, this was incredibly upsetting, not because my chickens suffocated to death inside of a block, which I'm sure was incredibly painful, but because I thought I had done all of the calculations correctly. I thought that structural chickens would be enough to hold up this structure. You may remember I briefly considered a structural sheep, but I deemed that to be too overpowered, but clearly I've made a mistake. This chicken's looking on in fear. Don't put me in the wall. Well, sadly, mate, it will be too late because the structure has already failed. My base has fallen down to the ground. Now I know what you're thinking. This doesn't make any sense. Surely, if the structural chickens were holding up this part of the structure, this would be the part to fail. And you'd be right. That is weird. But thankfully, this thing's collapsed in a slightly more aesthetically pleasing way. And I gotta say, I actually kind of like it. I kind of like the dangly chains. I kind of like this thing being down here. I wonder if we could make a feature of it. We can make it all overgrown. We could maybe build a path into it. I can still keep some chests inside of here. But I think before we do any of that, there's some business to attend to. You see, the old entrance to my base. It's something that I haven't used for a little while now. Ever since getting the Elytra, I've just flown in. But I think for old time's sake, given that we'll never be able to do it again, I think I should pay a visit to the llama. It has been a very long time since I've done this, and I'm kind of nervous, mainly because I have 324 levels, but the deed is now done. I am down here. I have no way to get out. Let's do this. Buddy, it's been fun. You've been the best llama anyone could hope for, and that death message is still the best death message I think you could possibly get in Minecraft. So long, buddy. So long. Right, now let's get to work. Today's Hermitcraft episode is going to be about sorting all of the things that I need to sort. Thing number one is clearing out my post box. Goodness gracious me. Oh dear. I've got a Mission Possible book. That's Chuffly. Still haven't hit anyone with the Chuffly yet. I've got an Imperial transmission. Goodness gracious me. I've got me coming online. Alright, Etho, I know I haven't been playing that much over the past few days, but you don't have to make an announcement about it. Got some fresh pepper. I've got a potato of lies. I've got another ad. We've got a 1 egg equals 2 egg situation. Terrence, stay off the server. Another food item. A bunch of redstone components, which I do appreciate. A bunch of stamps. And finally, a notification about a meeting sometime tonight, but it's definitely not now. Well, just like my regular email inbox, 90% of that was complete spam, and the remaining 10% I've left too late to be actionable. So let's move on to the next thing on the agenda. Big Rons. I need to investigate this a little bit further, because, I mean, there is so much going on in here that I feel like I was overwhelmed. Firstly, I can't help but feel like this is Magic Mountain stuff. There's also snails in here. I've been infiltrated by the snails. The strawberry I don't even know what to do with, but, you know, I've been looking around in here. I can't help but feel like a diamond ore for sale, 4 diamonds. 4 diamonds for 2 ores. Sounds like a good deal. Almost too good of a deal? Like, maybe Ron's has turned into a bit of a laundromat. I think I'm going to have to get into a bathtub for this one, aren't I? So if you have money that you want cleaning up, let's say, it's money that has origins that you don't necessarily want people to know about, then you run it through a legitimate business, for example, a failing technology store, and then that gives your money a legitimate reason to exist. It's not necessarily legal, but if Big Ron's cool with it, I'm cool with it too. I'm just going to do a bit of a buy now, pay later sort of deal here. Oh, this is going to be incredibly satisfying. Why am I getting so unlucky? This system doesn't work if I don't get lucky. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's weird. Looks like I've got a handful of diamonds left over. Well, you know what? I'm feeling like buying today. I think I might just buy everything in the shop. Big Ron's is having a big sale day today. Big Ron's, big deals, big diamonds. Oh, this time it looks like I've been left with a fairly decent amount. I mean, look at this. Wait, am I in trouble now? I just did the thing. I've been putting this on Big Ron the whole time, but now I'm the one that's profited. I'm going to deposit them at Willie's Woodyard for safekeeping. And if anyone asks, it was him. But let's actually talk about Big Ron's quickly. I spent the past few weeks designing merchandise for Big Ron's technology store, which seems like a ridiculous sentence to say. It's just been a really fun project for me, and to finish off the project, I actually wanted to shoot some commercials for Big Ron's. That was actually my plan for last week, but a bunch of the props didn't arrive, so you've got that to look forward to in the future. I can't wait. Now it's time to crack on with some very serious business. And for probably the first time in my entire life, I actually mean that seriously. This week is going to be called Hermitcraft Week because I am going to absolutely smash out of the park and I'm going to make serious progress on that area. I'm committing to it. I really want to get this area done, and I'm going to achieve that by making a really solid framework to work from. I want to get everything worked out. I want to know where all of the builds are going to go so I can see how they're going to fit together. Then I can work on various different concept arts and things wherever necessary. And then we can actually get some blocks being placed. I have really enjoyed the artist's approach that I've been taking recently. You know, I like to imagine me making a Hermitcraft episode as like an artist walking down their garden to their studio every now and again and doing some painting and then going back to the house. That's kind of how I view it. Not saying that I'm an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but that's kind of the way I view it. It's like that super intrinsically motivated episodes, only placing blocks when the inspiration strikes. But right now I need a little bit of commitment, a bit of accountability, I suppose. And I'm ridiculously excited for it. So I'm going to get the ball rolling by buying a whole bunch of wool. What sort of wool colours do I want? There's a lot of pressure. It feels like a lot of pressure from all of these. I've never felt so watched on any purchase that I make. It feels like if I make any decision right now, I'm just going to be judged by all of them. Right, let's get some cyan wool. That seems good. Does it seem good? Then some orange wool, that also seems smart. And finally some green wool. Okay, I would say we are in business. Time to start placing down some wool. So this area here is going to be the Boulder Bros zone. Now, to be honest with you, it's not actually going to be that tall. The way that I imagine this is almost piles of rocks. Something like that. How does that look in proportion with the rest of the build? I feel like, yeah, that actually looks kind of cool. It fits in nicely. It's got a good progression. That's cool. Oh, I really like that. I really like that. I want to build it now. So I've got rock storage, I've got redstone storage, and then I've got wood storage. I guess next up is probably food storage. Now, I kind of have an idea for this in that I almost want it to be like a farmhouse that has an outside storage silo or some form of storage shed. So it'd be something like this. Yeah, okay, that's the first part. Now I have to remember the database is going to be going down here. It's where I'm storing all of my redstone contraptions, probably on that piece of wall there. I mean, it's a pretty chunky redstone build, but I think it will fit there. So then if I have a bunch of farmland wrapping round in this direction and finishing off somewhere over here, I think that will look super cool, combined with a building hanging over the edge here. So this is going to be one of our first overhanging buildings that's mainly pointing in this direction as opposed to this direction. I don't want them all to be facing the same way. That feels way too linear. So hopefully something like this. Is that high enough? I mean, I kind of want it to be slightly smaller than Willie's. Probably similar to Ron's. And I'm sure I'll add in some dangly supports and bits as well. How are we feeling here? I'm really curious to see what this looks like. Yeah, okay. I think we actually need to increase the height of this green one. I think that needs to be like a tall and skinny build. Oh, it's kind of difficult working out proportions and things, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, but then it kind of matches up too much with Willie's. Maybe it needs to be a little bit taller? I think it needs to be between Willie's and this one. I almost think we need a little something here as well. And I wonder if I could almost do like a power supply for the database. So this is where the pipes and the electrical supplies run out, maybe? Something like that. I mean, I know that Big Ron's has actually got an electrical lamppost, so it could be cool if we hook up a lot of these things to some form of, I don't know, substation. That could be a nice way to integrate the bottom half of the base with the top half of the base, because right now they are a little bit disconnected. So I kind of like that idea. Yes, I would say these changes are making big differences. That's great. This is great. I'm feeling really, really happy right now. How does it feel on the ground level too? I mean, that's nice. This is cool. I like the fact that we're having to walk through things. I think I'm going to put a pathway through all of the wheat and things. And I like to imagine that the farm owner hates the fact that people keep walking through his crops but then everybody does regardless. Now, in terms of what this build is going to be, I was in two minds. I was either going to make it the farmer's house or I'm going to make it the miscellaneous items house. Now, the reason why I like the idea of this being the miscellaneous items shop is because that is the sort of shop that would be hanging over the edge, right? The idea that this place is gradually filling up more and more with junk. I want this to be like a crazy antique shop. You know the sorts of antique shops that you walk into and they are just floor to ceiling. Like everything is just stacked up on top of one another. You wonder how anyone buys anything from there. There's just entire rooms of chairs and entire rooms of just board games. I actually went to one yesterday, funny enough, and there was a basket that was filled with just various limbs of dolls. Yeah. I was horrified as well. So I want to capture some of that energy with this build here. And I like the idea that it's just gradually expanded off the edge of the cliff. So I guess that settles it then. So this is the miscellaneous items. This is just going to be farmer's house / storage then. I guess we can tack some onto the side maybe. And I definitely think I can get all of these builds done this week quite easily. I mean, I do need to do all the concept art and things, but I think I could pull it off. Now I'm thinking, what else does one need to store? Like, what else needs its own category? I would say valuables. I like the idea of having a bank. Lots of people have said that I look like I work in a bank, so I guess it's about time that I build one for myself. And I kind of imagine this looking almost like the Flatiron Building in New York. It's going to be on a corner here. It's going to wrap around. Use lots of those like sandstony, birchy, goldeny blocks. You know, it just needs to look expensive. By the way, I have no idea what ZF is doing. I would feel incredibly bad if this is not something that he's working on and he's actually in serious peril. But I think he's exploded about 25 times. This is the problem with ZF. He does so much weird stuff that if he actually ever was in trouble and he was in a death loop, no one would save him. Height-wise, what do we think? Do we think similar size to Willie's? I feel like that's probably a good idea. I think that will balance off the build well. Let's have a think. How does that look? I feel like that's a good spot. I don't know if it is. I think it messes with the balance a little bit. There's still one more build to go on the end there, so maybe that could help things. But I don't know. Maybe... I don't know. I think the best move is to keep working on it, keep adding in the buildings, and then adjust. I'm also going to start planning out the top layer. This is far off into the future, but it's worth thinking about. Now, this really big build at the end here is going to be the scientific research facility. Every small town needs a scientific research facility. Now, this is going to be a big industrial looking build. I'm also going to hang it over the edge, but there's going to be structural supports underneath it. This is like a big deal because, you know, I've got some scientific research that I want to do. I've started noticing some things on the Hermitcraft server that have me a little bit concerned. I'm not 100% certain what they are just yet, and I'm not going to be talking about them until I can prove it, but I'm starting to get a little bit worried. So this building is going to be very important in the near future, because if I can't get something worked out soon, then I think it's going to be too late. Right, these proportions look pretty good. I think this actually needs to be a little bit taller. And now I'm going to start working on the next layer. And that is going to involve some serious soil removal. Right, I think about here is where I want to end it, because we're going to also have some parts of the scientific research facility split between two levels. So it's going to kind of come up like this. Yeah, something like that looks pretty good. And it was at this point, Grian asked me for some help. Hello.
Oh my God. Oh.
You all right?
Oh. No, now I'm not okay.
Why?
It was so loud. Hold on.
What's happened to my audio? I don't understand. I don't understand computers, I don't think. Right, okay, follow me. If you follow me, I'll be able to take you to the iron farm.
Is 43 rockets gonna cut it?
Oh, well, I've got 37, so I hope so.
All right, here we go. I want you to... No, don't do it yet, but when I say, I want you to breathe out all of your air.
Right.
Okay, like, so you've got nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll tell you to do something, all right?
Okay.
You ready? So breathe it all out. Get it all out. Now scream.
Ow! Ow! I think you just injured me. Here we are. Oh, gosh. You know what? I don't know why I actually let you... Don't fall down the hole.
I'm trying.
I shouldn't let you near these things, right? Okay, this is the iron farm. Slime farm's underneath it. I don't know if there's actually any iron currently in the iron farm.
I need a bunch of chains, and they're so expensive.
They are really expensive. I mean, yeah, though, there's not much.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to wait here for a while and
Yeah, question your life choices.
maybe find some other people to do the no air scream.
I'm stressed because I don't understand why I'm so successful.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm so wealthy with all these diamonds. Boo hoo.
Yeah.
Do you know who's not buying any red sand? Anyone. Do you know who's buying mushroom? No one.
Yeah, but what about what shop did we make together?
We haven't made it. It's the wart shop.
Yeah, the wart shop. I forgot about that. We need to do the warts. No, I don't know. I don't know if I can deal with another super successful shop. This is the problem,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, we're always going to be running out of them. I'll just wait here for ever.
Yeah. Okay, enjoy your chains. See you later. That was the wrong direction. And we're in a group. And we're in a group. That's even more awkward. Oh no! Right, now I have to awkwardly leave a group. I'll fade out. I'll fade out naturally. Hang on. I'll adjust my grain.
Do it.
Right. Okay. See you later. Bye, Grian. I can't quite believe I've left Grian in charge of some of my favourite farms, but hopefully they'll be okay. I'll be honest, this is a little bit laborious, but this is something that has to be done. I've also been thinking a lot about how I want this area to work out, and I think I do want a farmer's house, and I want it to be on a layer that's almost between the two layers. I think that's a good way to transition things. Yes. Yes, 100% yes. This is starting to feel really, really good. I am so glad I did this. This has been like the most invaluable thing I can now see very clearly. This project is weirdly becoming very, very expensive. It's because I have to buy all of the wool in bulk. All of my laundered profits from Big Ron's are gone. Right, so I've extended that build a little bit, and I've also added this thing in as well. I'm going to work out what those are going to be soon. Now I'm kind of experimenting with something. I like the idea of there being a communication tower here. This is all going to be hooked up with the database and all of the wiring and things. And I have some far-fetched future plans, let's say. How does this feel? Oh, it's actually quite cool. Yeah, that is actually quite cool. So that building over there, that is an extension of the scientific research facility, and I think I'm also going to add another tower over there. I actually can't tell you how much fun I'm having. I love being in the concept phase. I just think it's so cool. This has got me so excited. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's about the right height. Yes. And we now have a town planned out. Everything is in place. We have got Boulder Bros. We have got a little substation. We've got farmer's storage, a farmer's house. We've got miscellaneous items, a bank, more electrical substation stuff, a scientific research facility, the extension of a scientific research facility, 2 big power antennas, communication towers, whatever you want to call them. Then over here, we've got the decoder for the communication towers. And finally, we've got Mumbo Jumbo's house, my house. This is going to be mine because I have never had a house in a base before. Think about it. Every single season of Hermitcraft, I can't name a single time where I've actually had, like, a base, a place where I sleep. I've never had one. My bases have always been these big monumental structures with no home. And my bed is just kind of chucked somewhere. So I want my house to be here, and it's going to be filled with all of my personal items and things. It's going to be lovely. I like to think this is my childhood home. Like, I've lived in this place for years. I'm friends with everyone in the area. Big Ron is my uncle's cousin or something. I like this plan. It feels homely already. So I have got a lot, I mean a lot of building to do over the next few weeks. Goodness gracious me. I'm going to set myself a goal. September. By September, all of these builds need to be done. And the forest. The forest down the front as well. Yeah, I've said it. Gosh, I actually can't wait. I'm going to start drawing up some business cards and some concept arts and some posters as we speak. But before I do that, there's something I have to do. My gold shop is out of stock for the 6,000th time. I'm overflowing with diamonds. And also, to top it all off, my iron farm, my iron shop is also fully out of stock. I'm making too much money. Let's just take a look. Oh, yeah. Oh, great. Oh, I'm so happy. Everything has sold. I hate my life. Hermits, if you're watching this, stop it. Stop buying my stuff. Please. Hopefully this gets the message out. I don't think I've got much sympathy from Pearl, but Gem's on my side. Alright, well, I guess this is my next few days of existence. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.